Open-world games tend to feel massive, immersive, and sometimes overwhelming. These experiences, on the other hand, keep pulling us out with their technical problems, bland environments, or whatever else they manage to screw up. Welcome to MojoPlays, and these are the absolute worst open-world games. Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Terrible Minecraft ripoffs. We're just going to get these out of the way right now. Despite the game being nearly a decade old, there are still hundreds of developers trying to piggyback off of Minecraft's success. All these games manage to replicate is Minecraft's art style and nothing more. Most of the time, they'll be plagued with bugs and glitches, or will have absolutely nothing to make its world remotely interesting. In other words, these carbon copies rely on aesthetic to sell their games, which forces us to question their motives behind shelling out these titles. Did you really pour your heart and soul into this, or are you just trying to trick kids into thinking they're playing Minecraft? Trust us, if they wanted to play Minecraft, they'd go play Minecraft. Fallout 76.
Here's a song about Fallout, here's a song about Fallout.
Unlike games like Sea of Thieves and No Man's Sky, both of which were initially disappointing but got much better over time, Fallout 76 keeps taking as many steps backwards as it takes forwards. Unable to add meaningful new content, Fallout 76 is still scrambling to fix bugs and balance the game. But every time they try, old bugs come back and new glitches and exploits keep popping up. There is still a devoted community trying to hold on to the possibility of Fallout 76 getting better, and we agree that it is possible, but even that community is starting to get frustrated.
Put on my new leather chest piece.
Superman Returns. Oh, this game is super alright. Super dreadful. Not only is Superman Returns one of the worst movie tie-ins ever made, but it's also one of the worst open-world games for various reasons. For starters, controlling Superman is aggravating as hell. The Man of Steel runs at Sonic the Hedgehog speeds, making it difficult for players to turn corners and reach objectives. The world itself is a massive blemish too. Metropolis is devoid of any unique visuals or landmarks, which makes the entire experience forgettable. The city would be under attack so much that free roaming felt more like babysitting. But hey, at least it's better than Superman 64, and that's not saying much. The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You just buy yourself a ticket to hell!
Oh no, I'm so scared!
You're gonna pay for that,
Not!
Soups isn't the only hero to suffer from terrible games. Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man has seen his fair share of buggy, glitchy, broken titles, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is one of his worst outings. The game was about as cookie-cutter as it could possibly be, lacking anything that makes Spider-Man so unique. It felt like every other Spider-Man we played last generation, and the generation before that. Mix the ho-hum experience with frequent animation bugs, cringy voiceover acting, and terrible writing, and this game would be enough for the webhead to consider retirement.
You're gonna love this! I will.
Infestation, Survivor Stories, aka The War Z. It's one thing to copy the art style of a popular game, but when you rip off literally every aspect, you're on a whole other level of scummy. Enter Infestation, Survivor Stories, formerly known as The War Z. The game received massive backlash from the gaming community for directly ripping off DayZ. Plagued by technical glitches, graphics uglier than a zombie's face, and piss-poor audio, the reason why this game survived 4 years is an enigma in itself. When news broke out that the servers would shut down in December of 2016, most of us responded with good riddance. Of course, it did try coming back as Infestation the New Z, complete with its own, drumroll please, Battle Royale mode. Homefront: The Revolution.
Heads up! Another patrol!
The first Homefront game was a decent shooter at best, but it was over way too soon and it heavily baited a sequel. Homefront: The Revolution was not that sequel, it was a reboot instead, and an utter disaster. This is one of the biggest messes of bugs and glitches we have ever seen. Objects will go missing in the environment, the player can get stuck behind randomly placed invisible walls. If that wasn't enough, the AI is completely idiotic. You'll often find NPCs running into objects, phasing through each other, not animating while moving, driving into obstacles on the road. Need we say more? Metal Gear Survive.
You'll need to procure all weapons and equipment on site for this mission. Same goes for food.
Once Kojima escaped Konami's clutches, we knew the Metal Gear franchise would never be the same. However, we didn't expect we'd see the franchise again in such a short amount of time. In a little over 2 years since The Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Survive disappointed the world in being yet another online co-op zombie survival game, before the game was even released. As one would expect, it did nothing to set itself apart, at least in a positive way. The only reason we'd remember Survive is for its punishing hunger, thirst, and stamina meters, cookie-cutter gameplay and mechanics, and $10 save files. Yes, you had to cough up $10 just to make a new character and start over in a $60 game. Raven's Cry, aka Vendetta, Curse of the Raven's Cry.
We buried him together! God damn it.
Yar! This be a pirate life that nobody could possibly enjoy. On paper, an open-world pirate game sounds like a surefire success. Unfortunately, Raven's Cry flubbed it up in the worst ways possible. As if the atrocious voice acting didn't keyhole us, the frequent audio bugs and boring world certainly did. The developer even tried to salvage this mess by pulling the game from Steam and re-releasing it as Vendetta, Curse of the Raven's Cry. And while that version is a slight improvement, it's still an overwhelmingly bug-ridden mess. Even in a world where Fallout 76 exists, Raven's Cry still manages to be the most disappointing and worst open-world game we've ever played, and we'd rather walk the plank than spend another minute in its empty waters.
Ready your weapons. We're going aboard.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.